Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm popping on with a quick message of encouragement for my sisters in faith struggling with self-sabotage. I know it's a topic that not a lot of people talk about often because if we're honest, it's much easier to focus on the actions of others and what they did do or didn't do that somehow impacted you. But it takes a lot of courage, a lot of ownership, a lot of accountability to look in the mirror and really address the things that you've done that has impacted your growth. And I don't know about y'all, but like recently I had a conversation with my friend and I realized that self-sabotage for me runs deep. Okay, and so I should have actually said self-sabotage ran deep, because what we not gonna do is keep repeating those things of the past. And that is why I want to share it with y'all. Honestly, this is like hot off the press because I recently went to Sarah Jakes Roberts' Power Moves book tour. I don't know if any of y'all were there, but if you were in Atlanta, hey sis, was good. I know you had a great time because I did too. Okay, and let me first say, like, it's so funny even saying the title of the book because y'all, when I first saw it was posted about it on Instagram, I definitely thought it was Power Moves, and it was like boss moves, we getting stuff done, we getting down to business. You know, I thought it was like that vibe. And granted, like, trust me, I've been to Woman Evolve and I love Sarah, and so I knew either way it was gonna be good, but like, I don't know that I was initially planning to go to this until my friend texted me and she's like, hey girl, we gotta go. And she tricked me because I'm pretty sure she told me this was a conference, and then I got there and I found out it was a book tour, and that's a whole nother story. But like, I went and I'm so glad that I did because it was so good. Like, the presence of God was so clear in that space. Like, y'all, it was good. Okay, so Sarah Jakes Roberts book tour, self-sabotage. What do all of these things have to do with one another? Okay, so at the book tour, she said something, and I'm actually gonna pull it up because I do not want to misquote it because it was that good. The thing she said that really stuck with me was, Lord, give me a revelation so great of who you are that it makes me less vulnerable to who I'm not. Y'all, like, when I tell you that something broke within me in that moment, like, I recognized that at some point my focus shifted. And honestly, I recognized a trend of my focus shifting throughout my career. And so, like, I don't know about y'all, but I'm definitely staying prayed up when I am in the job search. And to any of y'all who are currently experiencing this job search, just know I'm praying for y'all because it's crazy. It's crazy. And so it's one of those times where I feel like prayer is prevalent, right? Like, you are praying that the right opportunity will come your way. You are praying that you are able to perform accordingly as you go through interview processes and so forth. And so, like, you are really at a point where you are keeping that constant communication with God and relying on Him. However, right, like, during the job search is very clear. And I think when you first get on the job, it's also like clear. You're praying that you're able to make impact and that you're able to excel in the role. But then, you know, some of the stuff starts to become second nature. And I'm not even gonna put this on y'all. I'm gonna tell you my story, right? Like, stuff becomes second nature, and it's so easy to stop praying about the day. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still praying, but not necessarily about the specifics in the day-to-day of work, right? Like, it's because I get comfortable in doing my position. I'll give you this background context as well. I've always been a high performer. Like, my mama will tell stories about like when I was in kindergarten and how I turned my desk away from the other kids because they were too distracting and I was trying to get down to business. Like, that is who I've been all my life. And so I will go in and I will say the Lord has given me a true gift of establishing clarity like none other. I'm pretty sure if you meet any of the people who have worked with me, they will probably all tell you a similar story about how I came to establish my professional presence at that place. It's always rinse and repeat. I go in, I try to soak up as much knowledge as I can. I try to understand what are the problems that exist, right? Like that everybody knows exist. Let's start there, right? So there's like the problems that people know on the surface, and then there are the problems that some people might not even recognize are problems. And so the Lord gives me a good eye for going in and having a good purview of what the problems are. And then I essentially try to figure out what solutions we can come up with, right? What are some of the low-hanging fruit that we can knock out easy? What are some of the other things that might be bigger and longer term projects that I can essentially work on to show impact? I really want to go into workplaces and leave those spaces better. Great. So that always makes me go in the door, do a good job, and no lie, y'all, no lie, I kid you not, like it always makes me one of the people put up for promotion, with the exception of one time. Yeah, we'll talk about that one experience. But like every other time, it has made me the person that is on the list to be put up for promotion. And honestly, y'all, that I couldn't articulate it before, but I recognize that there was a fear associated with that next level for me. Like going into a new job and figuring out a way to excel, great. Easy, got it. Like, I won't say easy, but great. Me and God, we right here, we got it. But when it comes to moving on to that next level, for me, I think people always talk about this fear of failure. And I'm not even sure that that is exactly what it is. I think for me, somewhere along the way, when I do the things that I need to do in my current role, it's like, okay, yes, I got this. This is good. But expanding to go on to this next level, there's this next level expectation. It could be real. It could be perceived, right? I'm not even saying that this is definitely a thing, but I think there is this next level of expectation that we put on ourselves, or at least I know I do. And for some reason, for me, it just feels like that next level, like not the first level when you come in the door and you just superstar, great. But when you move up to that next level, there's this expectation that you have to do it in your own strength to maintain said success. And quite frankly, I want nothing to do with that, right? Like I just don't, I'm not interested in it. And so I had to recognize that I had to honestly check my pride is what it was, really. Like if we're gonna call a spade, it's really thinking that in the first place that you're doing any of this in your own strength, right? Like all of the rooms that I've been invited to, all of the spaces where I've had a seat at the table, I can definitely see God's hands in and through it all. But again, somewhere along the way, because you do, like, there's a level of responsibility on yourself of, I gotta show up, but literally somewhere along the way, we made it more than showing up. Like, now it's, I'm showing up and it's me. And it's not, because I know everybody, nobody wants to admit that they struggle with pride. I know I didn't. And that in and of itself is a sign of pride. I had to learn. I'm sorry. If you can't say amen, say ouch. And it is fine, because I didn't even think I was going to go here in this video. But like, I had to deal with it too. Let me just put it that way. Like, I had to deal with it too. I had to recognize that I was so, again, focused on my own doing. Like, can I do this? Do I have the skills? Do I have the time? Will I be as good in this position where the stakes are higher, the expectations are higher? And when you put all of the focus on yourself, it does make it so that you don't even have space or capacity to see God moving, to see where God is elevating you to see what he is planning to do through you, because instead you about to run. Like, y'all, I kid you not, I have left 3 jobs where I was up for promote, like, and not even like the, oh, you know, the fake, oh, I'm talking to you and yeah, you're gonna be promoted next, which happens sometimes. Like, no, like, they were literally asking me to take on the next role. And I'm like, all right, bet. LinkedIn, Indeed, what was the other, Google, whatever. Like, I'm searching for a new job. Like, I don't know why y'all did this to yourselves. Like, why would you even do this? Why would you ask me to do that? I was doing so well in this little box of mine, and now you want to go expand it, and now I gotta go find a new job. Like, I wish I was joking, but I'm not. And so, actually, everything works out and is divinely timed, because at my current job, I was actually promoted way sooner than I would have expected to be promoted. I think, again, when God moves, God moves. That's a whole nother video, because I recognize, y'all, like, I said this was gonna be a quick message of encouragement, and I feel like I have all of these different paths that I could turn down, but we're gonna put a pin in that. I'm gonna come back to the promotion video, but the long and the short of it is that, honestly, I've been submitting it to the Lord daily and honestly stepping up, showing up, and I'm finding that the Lord is helping me to rise to the occasion. I will say that bar keeps climbing. It keeps climbing, but I feel like each day I am showing up, and I feel like I am doing my part by putting one foot in front of the next, and the Lord is just showing up in ways unimaginable. And so I want to encourage you to stop running. Trust me, I know my fingers be ready. You said what, promotion? Oh no, I'm on LinkedIn with it. Like, fingers ready. I want y'all to stop running, right? Stop running. I want you to pause for a second and just really think. What could the Lord be trying to do in me and through me with where he is taking me next? And for my practical patties, I get it. I want to tell y'all practical tips that helped me with this recent transition that I had, which is, one, thinking through what is the worst that could happen, right? Like, if I take this promotion, what's the worst that could happen? Then taking a little bit of time to think through, well, what's the best that could happen? I think when we take the time to really consider. Worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, I am terrible at this job. I get booed off stage. It's not a stage. I am a program manager in tech, so it's no stage. But like, let's pretend I'm on a meeting. I get booed off the meeting because I'm just so bad at leading the program. Like, it's okay. Could that happen? It probably is unlikely, right? But even if that did happen, so what? Like, it's not something that I can't bounce back from. And so when I think about the best case scenario, though, that's amazing, right? That's amazing that I get the opportunity to show up in a space and be in a position of authority while also being a representative of Christ. For me, recognizing that the Lord has his hand on the work that I'm doing and there's favor there, it is not only a privilege, right? But it is my responsibility to walk fully in that, right? Like, I am here to show up. As I said before, I am here to be a representative of Christ, and I have a platform, and God has blessed me with said platform to be able to share his goodness. All right, now I'm gonna leave y'all with this. For my sisters in Christ who, like me, struggle with self-sabotage, I want you to start to trust more in his provision than in your lack of qualifications, your lack of experience, your lack of whatever, like whatever area you may be feeling this lack. I want you to trust God and trust his provision more.